My name is Marcus. I am from Sweden and I'm the owner of Solid Tech, a Swedish rack manufacturer. I have a past, I'm a physician and was working as for big companies as a product manager, like for Ericsson and for Telenor. And then all of a sudden I decided to do my hobby and start working with that. So I became self-employed and started to do racks and speaker stands and accessories for hi-fi. And this was like 10 years ago, and now I have a company and a few employees in Sweden. What's the difference between just ordinary furniture and my racks? Well, first of all, you want to make a furniture, let's say it's a furniture, that doesn't worsening the sound. That's the first one. And then you also want to improve the sound with the rack. And the third thing you want to do is to give the eye, because you also listen to the eyes, you want to make a design that attracts people. So those three things I focus on. And when it comes to the first one, not worsening the sound by having a rack, you need to construct something that is very stable and heavy. It should be like a rock. But there are some certain rules also here, and that is the stiffness in the shelf, and the weight. The stiffness weight ratio should be favorable, meaning that it should be kind of a relatively light shelf, but the stiffness should be still very, very stiff. So the ratio in between is important. So those are the things we look at when we construct a rack in order not to worsening the music, right? And then you want to improve the music or the sound. And then we use isolation. So we independently isolate each and every equipment in the rack. And we are using a mechanical system for that. So depending on the weight of the equipment, we change the coupling. So and we use it with normal springs, like in a car. Imagine a car, and the weight of the car, you have to change the spring system in order to have a perfect isolated car. This is much in the same way. And the third thing, we have 4 different series of racks with 4 different designs, and we try with this to comply most eyes' desires, so to say. Today we introduce a new rack, we call it Balance. It's our 4th series of rack. It was introduced in May this year. We're showing it here. It's a double width, so you can have 2 equipments beside each other. Each and every equipment in it is independently isolated. You can fill the tubes, in the corner tubes, the corner pillars with sand, which is also important because that will damp the whole rack. You both make it heavier, but it's also damp it because the sand will start to vibrate in the lower frequencies and convert the energy from moving energy to heat, basically. So isolation, all shelves, we can fill the corner pillars with sand. It's also a completely new design. We have it in 2 different sizes, single size and double size. You can have the shelves with or without isolation. And we have 3 different colors. As of today, it's white oak, black oak and silk oak. And the corner pillars can come in 2 colors, black or silver. We have also in the exposition another rack called Rack of Silence. This is our first rack. We designed it '98 already, and it's been more or less in the same way, look, since then. This is one of our best-selling racks, and also I think our company is famous for that specific rack. Since then we also developed a radius rack, a little bit more simple rack, a cheaper rack, and then we came up with a 3rd design called Hybrid, which the name also says. It's very hybrid, it's very flexible, you can build it in any way you want. And then now we introduced the Balance rack. All these can of course The easiest way to look at our things is through our website, which is solid-tech.net.